The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are simply that, opinions. All are presumed innocent until proven otherwise in a court of law. Sensitive topics are discussed. Discretion is advised.
A former adult film star, a bizarre blended family, and a father found headless in his own bed. Prosecutors say the brutal killing was driven by jealousy and desperation. We're covering Nevada v. Devyn Michaels, a case built on a gruesome crime scene, a confession, and two wildly different theories of who did it.
August 7th, 2023, police in Henderson, Nevada arrive at John Willett's home after his mother called 911 when she found his decapitated body in his bed.
Let's lock this down then.
What did you say in that video?
If it was missing head, let's lock it down. Meaning there's now a crime scene, so we kind of push everybody out and freeze that area, limit access to the house, essentially.
Jonathan Willett was 46 years old and a father of three, and in a surprising twist in this family dynamic, his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his teen daughters, Devyn Michaels, was married to his adult son, Devyn.
On August 7th of 2023, the defendant, Devyn Michaels, brutally murdered and savaged the body of her ex, Jonathan Willett. But the story did not begin on August 7th of 2023, and all I can say is buckle up because you're in for a wild ride.
Devyn Michaels was a former adult film actress who went by the name of Nikki Fairchild. Prosecutors say that Jonathan Willett had full physical custody of his and Devyn's two daughters, and that after she married his son, Devyn, she wanted her ex-boyfriend out of the picture.
At the time of the murder, she was giving John a massage on the bed. She refused to tell detectives what she did with John's head or with the weapon, that those items were never recovered.
Her defense team told jurors to listen carefully to Jonathan's son's testimony.
Devry's interviewed the day of August 7th, 2023. He claims that upon hearing of his father's death, he'd got his drink on. But what's telling through the course of what he says and what he doesn't say.
Devyn Michaels faces one count of murder in the death of Jonathan Willett. If she's convicted, she could spend the rest of her life in prison.
The state tells jurors, buckle up. You're in for a wild ride, and they couldn't have been more correct. Prosecutors say Devyn Michaels killed her ex-boyfriend and father of her children, Jonathan Willett, because he was moving into her home faster than she expected, threatening the life she built with his adult son, Devyn. Devyn confesses to hitting Jonathan, but denies decapitating him. Now, the defense says she didn't kill anyone. Devyn did, claiming he hated his father and feared losing his home, his relationship with Devyn, and his future.
You indicated earlier that you conduct an interview with the defendant?
I did.
Was that interview audio recorded?
It was.
Do you have a boyfriend or anything right now?
Yeah, I'm married.
You're married?
Yes, sir.
I was not told that information. I thought you
I'm
guys...
married, but okay.
We were told that you guys are possibly trying to get back together.
No, we're trying to get everyone in one house and be a family.
Oh, okay.
For the girls.
So, who were you married to?
I'm married to Devyn.
The son?
Yes, sir.
Devyn was good looking. And have dad come back, you know.
I wouldn't say good, but he understood. It wasn't his first choice for everything.
What does Devyn do now?
Installations for like security systems and stuff. Just taking the cameras down.
Who did?
John and I, we had just taken the cameras down. They're at my house.
When did those go down?
Last night, we just brought them over.
Oh, you just took them off last night?
Yes, sir.
When is it that you have any conversation with her about your dad's passing?
I believe it was the night she had
The night that I had found out, I was drinking heavily, and I believe she came home and said, "I'm sorry that this happened," and I kind of just wanted to be alone.
When was it that you first learned of the graphic nature of what happened to your dad after his death?
I believe it was a day prior to the phone call that I was sent an article from the Las Vegas News explaining what had happened to my father and that she was involved in it.
Look at me. Did you kill your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in killing your father?
No, sir.
Did you have any involvement in what happened to his body after?
No, sir.
First responders take the stand. They describe a scene they call unlike anything they've ever seen. Now, he also says the body was smoking as chemicals on the skin began to burn.
The Court TV podcast will return.
Crime scene supervisor Stephanie Wilson takes jurors deeper into the bedroom, where investigators found cleaning chemicals near the bed, no signs of a struggle, and no head or weapon anywhere in the home. Now, she says the decapitation was done with 2 different tools, and the lack of blood spatter looked deliberate, as if someone took steps to control or clean the scene.
We talked about how you believed it was a post-mortem decapitation.
That's correct.
As a result of that, you're not going to have spurting vessels or veins or arteries, correct?
Correct.
However, there is blood leaking from the
Right.
decapitation.
Right.
Did you see anywhere outside of this small area in the scene any evidence to suggest this body was dragged in, brought in, carried in, or anything like that?
No, nothing of the sort.
You're talking about the death occurred here, but you're not really clear on how the death occurred, correct? Or at least how the decapitation occurred.
Not on
Say.
how the decapitation occurred, no.
You gave testimony concerning cast-off blood, things like that, correct?
Correct.
And it was your testimony that you didn't see any evidence of cast-off, correct?
I did not.
You gave some opinions concerning blood spurting when a person's alive, correct?
Correct.
Fair to say that a mechanically powered saw would, the kinetic energy would cause cast-off?
Well, it's difficult to say. My only experience with hand-powered tools post-mortem involved being present for multiple autopsies at the coroner's office, where they used power tools to cut up an individual's head or do Y incisions, and no, I don't see any blood spatter associated when they do that.
I want to bring your attention back to August 8th of 2023. On that date, did you receive a body ultimately identified as Jonathan Willett?
Yes.
During your external examination of the body, what general things did you notice?
So, as previously stated, there was the absence of the head and upper neck, as well as there were some changes to the front side of the body that were consistent with some kind of chemical type burns.
Ultimately, did you make a determination as to John's cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Homicidal violence. There is no anatomic cause of death that is identified at exam. There is no toxicological cause of death that is identified. And the circumstances surrounding the death are objectively suspicious. So in this case, there is a postmortem decapitation.
Had a blunt force injury to his head killed John, is it fair to say that you would need his head to make that legal determination?
Yes.
And ultimately, what did you determine was John's manner of death?
Homicide.
Detectives testified that Devyn's story changed multiple times. The state argues she was the last person to see Jonathan alive and that his most important belongings, including his phone, wallet, ID, social security card, and truck keys, were found hidden inside her home. They also tell jurors Jonathan's Ring camera was recovered from her house with no video. And according to digital data, Devyn and Jonathan's phones moved together after midnight, while Devier's phone never left his home.
You are aware that there was an interview conducted with the defendant prior to your involvement?
Yes.
And this second interview, your first,
Yes.
was that investigative type, open-ended, like, hey, give us any information you deem relevant kind of thing?
Correct.
Now, during the course of this first interview you're involved in, we heard a little girl's voice approach. Is that correct?
It is.
Describe that, what happened, and what that meant to you.
So while we were interviewing Miss Michaels, we are engaged in our conversation. To be honest with you, I'm not sure which of the daughters, their names I still get mixed up. She had approached the window and she has the cell phone that we believe is the one we previously saw in the driveway. And she says, "Mommy, here's Daddy's cell phone. That's why he didn't answer." There was a physical reaction from from Devyn, and she takes the phone, she hands it to us, and she made a comment, "This should help you." And then that's pretty much changed the tone a little bit to casual conversations to then it became a little bit more flustered.
Okay. And is it at that point where you noticed the blood on the phone?
Correct.
Earlier on in the interview, you had confronted the defendant about the bloody phone, correct?
Yes.
And what was her general response with regard to that?
As far as the acknowledgement of the phone?
Yes.
She was surprised about the phone being at the residence.
Okay.
And it really threw her off when her daughter handed her the phone, and it changed the tone of our interview.
With regard to the victim's phone, did you ultimately learn that was in fact his blood and DNA, the victim's, on that phone?
Yes, I did.
Did you ultimately learn from other sources, not the defendant, but other sources, when John's phone was last at his home and when it left?
Yes. So one of my partners had authored a search warrant for Google. We had also done some call data records as well, but the Google itself came in quite a bit later. So this is something that we found out after the crime, obviously, and after all the interviews had been settled. But we noted that the return showed that John's phone was at the home on Paladura, which is where he resides, from 10 o'clock till it began to travel or move at about 2:04 a.m.
And what else traveled or moved at 2:04 a.m.?
So I'm not sure exactly what's been testified to yet, but at 2:04 is when it's alleged that Devyn left the home. She traveled. We have her cell phone or CDR records, as well as the Burla, which, again, I'm not sure if that's been testified to. That is the infotainment system that we authored a search warrant on. It shows those three devices together in a companion movement all the way back to Porcupine Rim.
So 3 devices, meaning the Nissan itself, the defendant's cell phone, and the victim's cell phone as well.
That's correct.
Now, back to the Court TV podcast.
The defense put the spotlight on Devier and attacked the investigation. They presented years of romantic messages, intimate photos, and proof of a long-running affair between Devyn and Devier, a relationship they say was heating up, not cooling down. There are also texts from Devyn telling Devier to pack his things and move out right before the murder. Their theory, Devier snapped, and Devyn is covering for him.
We had talked about a 217 Charter Oaks surveillance video, and we have the disc for that today. We also discussed the terrible Chevron inside video that we also have marked for today. You recall both of those items?
Yes, I do.
And so I'm going to pause it there. What do we see in this video here?
This is the front door, the entrance to the Chevron convenience store, Terrible's convenience store.
And at this point, do we see individuals entering the store?
Yes, we do.
And I'm going to stop right there at 12 seconds. Does that appear to be a female and a male?
Yes, it is.
And did you later determine that that was Devyn Michaels as well as Jonathan Willett?
Yes.
You have referred to the Paladera home multiple times as the murder scene, correct?
Yes.
However, you'd agree with me that it's unclear, at least based upon the coroner's conclusions, what the cause and manner of death was.
I have not reviewed the coroner's report.
Okay. Obviously, the body was missing a head, and fair to say that without the head, it's difficult to determine the manner of death.
Without the head, obviously, that could be a purpose, or excuse me, that could be the reason that the person died, but yes.
Okay,
unless there was something else prior.
So based upon your involvement, your engagement in this case, did the person die because of a decapitation?
I personally do not know.
Describe the actual scene walkthrough when you go inside. What do you remember about it?
So when we go in through the front door, get, I guess, a little descriptive. You walk in, there's a flight of stairs that you go up that kind of takes you to a small den area, and then if you continue to move forward a little bit more, there's the kitchen area, and then to the right of that, you have to walk back down a few flights of stairs, which is where Jonathan Willett's bedroom, makeshift bedroom would be, because it's, I guess, technically a living room. You don't see him or his body until you get closer to the front of it, of the bed, and then you start to wrap around. Then you can, at that point, you can start seeing the blood on the bed, blood stains, and then blood next to the bed at that point. And then when we get closer, or at least when I got closer, you could have that chemical smell that started burning your nose and your eyes at that time. I think they actually also mentioned that they saw smoke coming from the body when they went through at their time. But there was also the chemical bottles that were observed in the hallway, ammonia, I believe it was bleach. And later on, we actually did search what, if you actually combine those together, what it does. It actually creates a toxic gas called chloramine. And then as you get, like I said, you got closer to the bed, you can see his body where it's just the top of his shoulders. The blanket was pulled up, and then you did not see you didn't see his head, obviously. His neck was severed.
Did you learn, according to Yoko, who was the last person to be with John while he was alive?
Yes, we did.
And who was that?
We discovered she had mentioned that a female name that she only knew as Nikki at the time, and said it was his ex that he had 2 kids with. But later on, we ended up finding out that her name was Devyn Michaels.
2 stories, 1 brutal crime scene. Was this a resentful ex striking before her life changed, or a son eliminating the father that he despised? We'll find out as testimony continues next week. More witnesses will take the stand, and we'll see which theory starts to crack. Of course, I'm Cody Thomas. Stay safe, stay informed, and join me next time we go back on the record.
This podcast is a production of Court TV. Go to CourtTV.com for more content, trials on demand, and to find out how to watch Court TV in your area.